Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name is David. You're here because you love reviews. I love giving you reviews. Today we got a magic review. And man, I do reviews a lot, don't I? Like 5 reviews a week. So yeah, keep coming back here for card reviews, magic reviews. That's what I do best. Today we're gonna look at Choice from Jerome Sauloup. All right, Choice from Jerome Sauloup and Magic Dream. What is it? It is a open prediction effect, right? It's open prediction. You have 2 decks, one red, one blue. Each spectator chooses the one they want, doesn't matter. And then they deal cards down to the table and they stop whenever they want. Whenever they get a good feeling for the card they want, they exchange cards. The red card goes into the blue deck and the blue card goes into the red deck. And then they just proceed to do a bunch of cuts, right? Cut to lose it. And then they fan all the cards, and when that one card is revealed, it's turned, and both cards are identical. Big shocker. And then, as the kicker, the decks are flipped over, and both of the decks are completely blank. You're excited, you love the idea, you've got 2 spectators on a table, you order it, comes to you in the mail, what are you gonna get? You're gonna get a hard-shelled box. Inside, you're gonna get the 2 decks, 2 shrink-wrapped blank decks. You are getting a red blank deck and a blue blank deck. And you'll get some secret stuff. And you'll get a download code that'll give you access to a 35-minute Vimeo file that you can only watch on Vimeo, you cannot download. Is it what I thought? Yes, it was what I thought. This is Peculiar Coincidence. This is You Do As I Do from John Scarne. I mean, pretty much the inspiration behind the old school You Do As I Do trick that's probably in one of your Huggard and Browie books is pretty much the core essence of this effect. Choice, what they have done is they've added some little bells and whistles, some little niceties to the effect to give it some pizzazz for 2019. How are the angles? The angles are very good. Angles are very good. They'd have to be very good, right? Because you're giving the decks to the spectators and they're doing all the work. So they're holding the cards in their hands the entire time, and obviously they're not doing any sleights. So, of course, the angles are great. And yes, of course, they can be inspected because, again, the spectators are holding the decks and they're doing all the work and there's no slides. So, yeah, it's a self-working effect. All right, so what's the overall quality and production value of the video? Like I said, it's a Vimeo file that cannot be downloaded. Trust me, I've got all that cool downloading shaftware. I can hack, right? I can hack with the best of them. But I don't know why I said that. But you can't download this video. It made me angry. A lot of the video is in French because the creators are in French. You have a translator for Jerome who translates everything to you in English. Weirdly enough, there's a huge section of that 35-minute video where they're all talking in French to the cameraman and they're absolutely doing nothing. So there's like 5 minutes in your video where they're just having a conversation and you're just waiting for the instructions to start again. So I don't know why they didn't just edit that whole part out. As far as what they're going to teach you, they're going to go over the inspiration behind the effect. They'll talk about what you get. You'll get a studio performance. They'll talk about setup, explanation, and then you'll get a second explanation if you wanted to do this strolling with no table. So is it well made? Yep, it's well made because it's United States Playing Card Company cards. And like I said, they're still shrink wrapped. So I mean, these are the blank decks you would get if you just purchased blank decks on your own. So yeah, they're well made. How much practice does it require? Like I said, there's no sleights, there's no angles, this self-working trick that's done in the spectator's hands. So the only thing you need to do is just remember how the trick goes. But even now, you probably already know how the trick goes because I told you how it went at the very beginning. So if you can just remember that, there's really no memory work. And yes, you are getting a force card in this. Obviously, it's going to be the same force card that you're going to do every single time, but it's also a standard USPCC card. So if you ever wanted to change up your force, so like, set up and reset. So if you're going to do this trick again for a different venue, but you think some people might be in the room that had watched it before, I mean, obviously the kicker is going to be the same, so that's not going to be a shock. But to switch out the force card, that's easy. Other than that, it's just a simple deck stack. There's very little prep. Positives. All right, so what are the positives? Hey, this is a nice variation on the you do as I do plot. This is a great jaw dropper for couples or any two spectators in your audience. Negatives. All right, so what are the negatives? You know, every single time I do a review like this, I always want to give you the good and the bad. Even though a lot of these people, they send me tricks for free so that I can review them, I still have to be unbiased, right? I still have to be honest with you because I don't want you to spend money on things you don't want to buy, right? I want you to be happy when you get your products in the mail because I want you to trust me and trust my opinion. The fact that I could have guessed this before it arrived in the mail was really a letdown. Like when you can watch a trailer and say, I know how it's done, but I'm gonna buy it anyway because I'm hoping that's not how it's done. And then you get it and it is how it's done. I think you're kind of like, because then I didn't need to buy it, right? Because I already know how it works. And just the fact that you get 2 shrink wrap decks, I mean, they're just blank decks. And you know, the force cards are standard cards too. So, I mean, I have You Do As I Do in a lot of Magic books. And really the only thing that this is bringing to the table is the idea of the blank kicker and the idea of the card vanishing. But most of us know how to make a card vanish from a deck with a couple of cuts on the table, right? So again, I was really let down by this effect just from the fact that it was kind of easy to guess as a magician who's been around and seen tricks for a long time. The problem with You Do As I Do tricks, and not just this one, but all You Do As I Do tricks, the basic problem with the premise is if I select a card and it's blue and you select a card and it's red, and we have both cards in our hands at that point, then if they match, the best kicker would be to reveal them at that point and say, boom, they both match. So the extra step of sticking them in the decks and then losing them and then spreading the deck only to see, look, there's the different card again. I never liked that moment in You Do As I Do effects, personally. Is it worth your money? It is $40. $40, and like I said, you're getting 2 blank decks, and you're getting a Vimeo link that you can watch on the internet for 35 minutes, and you're getting a couple of extra gimmicky items. Please don't just take my word for it. Read some other reviews, watch some other reviews on YouTube, and make the choice that works for you. Who would like this? I think anybody that has the opportunity to work with 2 spectators and a table. I mean, I know they have the non-table version out there, but I think if I were given a choice between the 2, I would want to use the tabled version. I just like the fact that my cards that I bought are gonna be, you know, nice and neat and on a table and not out there in the street where people could drop them. So I don't always have 2 spectators and a table. So, but you might have that opportunity, and this was a great parlor effect. I think it's a great parlor effect if you were in a parlor and you were doing a series of tricks and you invited 2 spectators up out of the audience and you had them do this. It's a beautiful parlor effect, and I'm sure it would get a lot of wows and applause. All right, so that's everything I can say about Choice from Jerome Sauloup and Magic Dream. Of course, I want to thank Murphy's Magic Supplies for allowing me to have this trick so that I could do the review for you. And if you'd like to purchase it for yourself, you can find it wherever quality Murphy's Magic products are sold. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.